guys, welcome back to another week of Mortgage Matters in Minutes. Again, I'm your host, Brent Rasmussen, owner of Mortgage Specialists. Here at Mortgage Specialists, one thing you might not have known about us is we started and we still are a mortgage broker. Over 20 years later and 25 years of being a mortgage broker has allowed me to understand multiple lenders and how their process goes, their underwriting rules, their steps, and really understand the guidelines much more thorough because each mortgage lender has what's called overlays. And we're going to talk about what an overlay means and why specific lenders might have those. So you might go to one particular company for a mortgage and a different company, and one might approve you and one might not approve you. Why is that? Because most people are going to talk and speak that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, FHA and VA have standard agency rules, meaning they publish these rules. They say if you have this credit score and this debt to income ratio and this longevity of a job or these assets for a down payment, you then qualify for a loan. So, what are overlays? Overlays are rules on top of the basic set of rules. And why do lenders have them? Because they want to keep control of their portfolio and not give out too many loans they feel might be not performing, meaning not making their payments. Or they might see something happen like we did during COVID with people not having certain jobs or certain industries were really getting hit. They might have overlays that, which we saw happen. For example, investment properties were treated much differently. Second homes were as well too, because people will choose to give back their second homes and investment properties way earlier than they will for their primary residence. So overlays are very common, and we see this among different mortgage lenders, and that's why we enjoy mortgage brokering and mortgage banking, because we can fund a loan and give it to a different lender that might not have a rule that another lender might have, such as also escrow holdbacks. You might be building a new house and something might not be done. There's certain lenders out there that won't allow you to close on a transaction until the house is completely done. Some will allow you to withhold money to the side and pay for whatever item that isn't done at a later time, such as sprinklers or sod or exterior paint if it's cold, things like that, to make sure that the house does get completed at some point in time. We also see these overlays where it comes to maybe condos, homeowners association, townhomes, different unique type of homes such as manufactured housing or berm homes or dome homes, or all different kinds of scenarios there where Fannie and Freddie might say, yeah, we can do those particular scenarios, but a lender might not want to handle those on the servicing side to make sure that that loan is going to perform. Because if servicer doesn't receive their payments from a borrower, that goes against their investment and goes against what they do in servicing to make money. And so because of that, they might say, we have a problem with this type of loan in this type of area. We're just not going to do it. And can they do that? Yes, as long as they don't discriminate and say this is based on some kind of race, color, religion, national origin, sex, marital status, age, or disability, or familial status. They can turn around and say, yes, we treat everyone the same. We're not going to do that type of loan. That's called an overlay. And we like to see lenders overlays just to know what's going on, because for some reason they might have had a bad situation with maybe people being self-employed or certain tax situations or certain income deductions. A lot of those scenarios do transpire into mortgage world. And so here at Mortgage Specialists, we like to have multiple channels to go to because those multiple channels allow us less overlays. If, for example, we were to go to a lender and they only had one set of rules, you have no options to get around that scenario. But if we have 5 or 10 different options, you might have a much better chance of getting around that particular overlay. So we bring this up so you have a good idea of what a lender overlay is. So when a lender does contact you or maybe tells you bad news that you might not get approval, you have an idea. Is it a basic guideline or is it something different that that lender is looking at? Because it's always good to get a second opinion after someone says you don't qualify, just to make sure that that rule is a standard rule versus just one that specific lender has. We see this happen a lot with real estate agents working on a transaction, and they find out that their particular buyer or borrower became denied for a loan. They want to know why. And once they find out, they do ask maybe a lender they work with regularly, is this something that you would still deny a loan for? And most of the time, it's always going to be a standard rule. But every once in a while, that few small in betweens, there are some scenarios that certain lenders will do certain things. And we have a lot of those lenders that we know in the Omaha community. If there isn't something that, for whatever reason, a very small minutia underwriting guideline that exists, we might send that over to another competitor, friend, colleague here in town to get that done for someone. Does that happen very often? Generally, no. But if we're looking at specific types of loans, whether they're construction loans or home equity lines of credit, or whether they're reverse mortgages or jumbo loans, or a lot of different scenarios going on, we want to make sure still that our client that contacts us still gets the best representation in regards to that. So if you haven't heard of the word overlays, we're here to help educate and guide you along the way. Generally, we don't run into too many of those in our office here with the different options that we have, but you can elsewhere. So I'm Brent Rasmussen, owner of Mortgage Specialists. Feel free to contact us anytime at 402-991-5153. Check us out on our website at mtg-specialists.com, and we'll look forward to seeing you here next time, the same time, same place. Mortgage Specialists. Driven, trusted, reliable.